Welcome back to the final part of the PvP series. It's been a while. I hope you guys enjoyed New Year's and Christmas. I sure did. So before we get started, let's go over everything we've got so far. We got our respawn points, our team spawns. We have the guns, the event receiver, combat conversion chip, switch team, the start and end game button. We got the score right here. Um yeah, we have all this for the respawn, the time. And what we're going to be doing today is we will be making a scoreboard. And then of course, once we make a scoreboard, I'm going to be answering a few questions that you guys have been having in the comment section. So yeah, let's just get started with the scoreboard. So if you remember in the last video, we're gonna just make a quick scoreboard. It doesn't matter. It can honestly be anything. I'll just put it right here. You can have your scoreboard looking however you want, but I am just gonna place that right there. Get a text gadget, or you can just copy this one, which I should probably do. Just go ahead and copy it and place it down right here. Or it could not work. Okay, once you place down the text, we're going to put team 1 on the left. So rename this to T1 or team 1, it doesn't matter, or whatever you want to name team 1. And we're going to change the color to blue for team 1. And then we are going to copy this for team 2. So copy this, put team 2 right over here. We're going to name this one team 2. And we're going to have this one be red for team 2, or whatever you have team 2 be. Now, since we have 2 people on each team, we are going to copy this 3 times actually. Make sure that when you copy it, you clear out the text because you do not want the text to be there. And the reason we're copying it 3 times, even though we only have 2 players, is just in case somebody joins or they're accidentally put on team 1 or anything like that. There is an extra spot to show that person down there. It's so people can also switch teams too. So you can go on team 2 and then the person can switch over to team 1. You just want to have 3 of these so it's easier to see when people switch teams. So you want to have one more than your players on each team. We're going to move all these text gadgets up. And now that we have that, we're going to get a 2-string chip. You don't want a string format. We're just going to get a 2-string. So type that in, place it beside each one. Doesn't matter if they're connected or not. The wire tool is kind of weird when it comes to that. And now that we have that, okay, we're just going to connect these for right now. Oh yeah, we do want to do that. Okay, so we are going to take index 0 and connect it right here. The reason we're doing that, and we're going to take the same thing with index 1 and do that for team 2. Make sure that your role is the team that you want. So what this is basically going to do is Actually, let me connect this first and then I'll show you because right now it's not going to connect. You want to connect all the set text to them. You don't want to connect this side to this side. We're just going to connect them down like this. And we are going to, where's our team circuits? Okay, right here. So this is for getting on team one. This adds the team one role. So we're going to go over here and place the execute here. This adds team two. We're going to get this execute and put it here. So now whenever I switch teams, my name should show up. But my name does not disappear. So let me show you how to make your name disappear. I'm gonna go ahead and reset. Okay, so this is where it's gonna get a bit more complicated. So we are going to get the set text um CV2 gadget. Yeah, set text set text. We are going to place one above each of these. So if you want, you should probably separate them. So go ahead and get text set text and place it above each one. I don't have enough room above this one. Yeah, we're just gonna move these up. Okay, now get this text set text and place it above each one. Once you do that, you don't want to have nothing in it because this is how we're going to clear it. So put the text, connect the text target to the self, the text CV2. And now that we have that, what we're going to do is, so we are going to get a equals gadget. I mean, I don't know why I keep saying gadget. CV2 chip. CV2 chip. Yeah, we're going to get an equal CV2 chip. And we are going to place it right beside this chip. I don't know why it won't let me place it to the side, but we're going to put it right over here. And we need an if chip to actually work the equals chip. So go ahead and get an if chip and place it right beside that equals chip. And what we're going to do is we are going to connect the top of the equals chip to this list get count over here. You see it's 0 right now because I'm not on any of the teams. I'll be on team 1 in a second to show you what this does, but we're going to make this equal 0. Was it 0? Yeah. So we're going to have this top one equals 0. We are going to copy this down. We're going to have this equal 1, and we're going to have this equal 2. I honestly, if you have more players, you just want to copy. If you have more players, you just want to copy the text gadget down here, the toString, and we're just going to copy them down until you got enough players. If you have more players, we're just going to copy all these until you have enough. The same with this. Anyway, now that we have the equals, we're just going to connect it right here. This will be 1 and this will be 2. And we want to do the same thing for team 2. So go ahead and select all of these. We're going to clone them over here. And this time we're actually going to connect the equals chip to the team 2 list get count. And of course, we're going to have the same numbers too. So this one is 0, this one is 1, and this one is 2. And what this does is this is going to get how many players are on each team. So let's say that there's 0 people on team 1, then it's going to make sure that this is 0. I mean, that this says nothing. But if there was 1 person on team 1, then it would activate this. So we can actually go ahead and disconnect that. I don't know why I connected that. I think I connected that just to show you. But what we're actually going to do is we are going to get a what was it? Was it a event receiver? No, we're going to connect this not to here, but we're going to connect this to here. So since we're adding team 1, removing team 2 here, we're going to add this to team 1, and we're going to put this on team 2. And now, if this equals 0, we're going to connect the thin chip here, connect it all the way down, and if this does not equal 0, then we're going to connect it to the set text. We're going to go ahead and disconnect the text thing too. She don't need that. So now I will show you if I switch teams, it should put me on team 1, and if I switch, it's lagging a lot. I guess not. Okay, so we're gonna disconnect that. We actually want a event receiver up here. This is only going to work if you have this event receiver. So if it doesn't work, you probably have too many update 30 hertz event receivers because you can't have too many. But what we're going to do is have this the update 30 hertz event receiver. Going to place it right here. Now, since team 1 equals 0, there's going to be no one up here. But if I switch over to team 1, did I switch over to team 1? I'm still on team 2. If I switch over to team 1, my name appears there, but since it's updating 30 hertz a second to see if it equals 0, if I switch to team 2, my name disappears. And we're basically going to do the same for each one. So we are going to actually connect the set text over here to this. And we will connect the thin gadget to, I mean, keep calling them gadget. It's early in the morning. Oh my gosh. We're going to connect the thin output to the text set text input and connect the else output to here. And we're just going to repeat over and over for each one. We're not going to connect this side to this side over here. So actually, you might want to have a second update 30 hertz receiver and then connect it right here. And we're just going to do the same thing. So connect the values like this over until it's done. And there, now we have a system to where, okay, before I do this, let me change this to red because I do not like how it's still showing that I'm blue on this side. Okay, so now if I switch teams, I'm going to switch over to team 1 and switch over to team 2. And if someone were to join the game, they would appear on the text right below me. And mm, if I was to go over to team one and the person was still on team two, they would just take my spot. It's just like the oh, what's that game mode called? Showdown? I can't remember. Showdown. It's just like that leaderboard in there. And now that we've done that, let's answer some questions some people had. Rebel Development asked, what if you have more than two players per team? Why do I got the clipboard out? If you have more than two players per team, you don't want to touch any of these. All you do is you just add more of these, like I said. And of course, you are always going to be a number behind the player. So as you can see, since I am the first player in the room, I got the index of 1. Second player has the index of 2. Third player index did I say second player has index of 2? 1, third player 2, fourth player 3, fifth player 4. You never want to have go over the number of a player. So if you have 12 players, it's going to be 11. If you have 40 players, it's going to be 39. Your index is always going to be one number behind because the first player starts with the index of 0. And then, like I said over here, if you want the scoreboard thing, you just want to take the bottom text over here and you just want to copy all of these. And you're just going to want to copy it down and just keep doing the same thing over and over again until you have enough people on your scoreboard. And of course, you're going to have to connect these to team 1 and team 2, like I said, and put the numbers 3, 4, and stuff like that. Another question from Rebel Development. If he asked, what if we wanted to do an automatic game start and end? Would I be able to do that while still having the other chips work? Yes, you would. So if you want the game to automatically start and automatically end, because I know people aren't going to have the start and end game button, it's kind of just a personal taste kind of thing. But if you want the game to automatically start, what you can do is you can get a greater than or equals chip, and it's going to be greater than or equal to. You don't want greater than. We're going to put the greater than chip right here, and we're going to get an if chip. I'm pretty sure I had an if chip in my inventory already. Yes, I did. We're going to connect it like that, and all we're going to do is connect this greater or equal than. I don't have a get all players chip, do I? I need a get all players chip. Well, okay, actually, we're not going to use a get all players chip. We are just going to use two greater or equal than 2 chips. So move this over and get a second one. And we are going to connect the top of these greater or equal to chips to the let's get count chips. So connect this one to team 1 and connect the second one to team 2. And based on how many people you have on your team, which I only have 2 people, so I'm going to have a greater or equal than 2 for both of them. Let's move this over so you can see easier. But what this is going to do is this will, and of course, you're going to have it whenever someone joins the game too. So I need an event receiver. You can either have this, it's probably better if you have it where someone either joins the game or update 30 or a second. Here's what I would do. I would have an update 30 hertz a second, and I would get an if chip and place it right here. And just like how we have it here, where if you shoot someone, the game has to be started, we are going to make it so the game has to be not started for this to work. So we are going to connect this to here, which it should be false. Yeah, you can just hide the start button or whatever if you don't want this, or you can just keep it like this, which I mean, it honestly should probably just keep it like that. What you want to have is the update 30 hertz a second, and you just want to keep this false or have this connected to something, and whenever the game starts, this changes to true. That way, it stops sending a signal here. And after you do that, we're going to connect the else value here. So let's pretend that if the game isn't started, this is false. So it's going to constantly check if the teams are full, and if both the teams have 2 players on it, you can go ahead and connect it to the start sync the game chip over here, and it will start the sync game for everybody. And of course, once the game starts, you can have another custom event that actually turns this to true, and that way, even when someone leaves the game, it's not going to reset the game. And there you go. There is one thing. A lot of people have been talking about a player world UI chip. And yeah, there are a few things I want to talk about. So I will talk about this. And I don't think there's really anything else that people have been asking. So yeah, this will be the last thing I go over. So the player world UI, we're just gonna copy this one that I already have down here. So I actually want to tell you how to show that people are on team 1 or team 2, cuz I know that with CV2 it's not going to have that red and blue outfit you have on when you start CV1 game rules chip. So go ahead and get a player world UI chip, and we are going to name this one T1 for team 1. Gonna go all the way down here. We're going to name this Team 1. So this will be above your head if you're on Team 1. And we are not going to enable this when joining. And we want to enable this for the role of T1. I'll tell you how to activate it once we make Team 2. We're going to do the exact same thing for Team 2. We are going to change this to red, and the role is going to be for T2. You're going to have to disable the other roles, by the way. I hate this bug. Why can't it just show up? Thank you. You're going to have to also disable the other one. Okay, and now that we have that, what we are going to do is type in World UI real quick. Don't need the player on it, just type in World UI. And there's a chip called Display Player World UI. We are going to go ahead and get that one. We do not want any of these other chips. We just want the Display Player World UI chip. And what we are going to do is we are going to place it right over here. And we are going to connect this to Player World UI. So this is going to be for Team 1. So we are going to connect it to this one. And this is going to be for team 2, so we're going to connect it to this. Keep these local players and just connect it like that. And now I can't really show you, but if I were to switch a team and somebody else was looking at me, you would see that it would say team 1 or team 2 above my head. By the way, for the person who asked to automatically start the game, if you automatically switch teams and stuff, um you can just keep this whole system, except you probably don't want the button. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the button real quick. And I have it where if you just join the game, it puts you on a team. So you can just get rid of the button too. But yeah, there you go. Now it shows the player world UI on your team. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and maybe I'll do more of these series because this was actually pretty fun to do.